The appropriately titled Michael Jackson's This Is It was released just months after Jackson's untimely death in June of last year, eventually becoming the highest-grossing documentary of all time. You can say what you want about the king of pop, but whether or not he really ever did play tiddlywinks with little boys' privates and his Heidi Montag level of plastic surgery aside, Michael Jackson is the greatest-selling entertainer of all time, and easily one of the most influential. Utilizing rehearsal footage intended for Jackson's private library, This Is It captures the raw moments of Michael's final rehearsals just weeks before his death, with a simple but effective fly-on-the-wall technique. Unlike the music documentary film It Might Get Loud, which I reviewed recently, This Is It could have greatly benefited from any sort of narrative or backstory, of any kind. The 112-minute film is almost exclusively handheld HD video footage of sound checks and dance rehearsals for the 50-date tour in London that would never be. In fact, Michael's death is never actually mentioned in the film, nor is any of his history as a musician, or his history being the center of the tabloid-centric media. Failing to acknowledge Michael's death is a true misstep in my opinion, but realistically, since there's not a single person viewing this movie that isn't aware of that, the film is still an emotionally surreal look at Michael's music. The set list of songs performed in this documentary are top-notch, containing all of MJ's classic hits, even including some from his Jackson 5 days. Whether we're watching multiple different takes of his near-finished rehearsals of Smooth Criminal, or a single soundcheck-only version of Billie Jean, Michael Jackson and director Kenny Ortega really deliver the goods here, giving viewers an extraordinary opportunity to see the magic of Michael Jackson's stage show that will never be seen. Exhibiting Michael's energy, passion, and dedication, the most intriguing aspects of this film are between the songs, when we get a rare glimpse at Michael interacting with his stage crew, audibling for changes in the choreography, or assuring the band's mistakes are forgiven as he assures them this is what rehearsals are for. Although few, these scenes provide us with a true sense of what it was like to know the perfectionist and visionary mind that Michael was. Also, we're treated to some behind-the-scenes footage of the impressive video roll-in segments that would have been shown during the concert behind Michael on stage. Of particular note is the immensely gratifying new footage shot for the song Thriller. Sadly though, much of the film is just a very basic 3 or 2 camera coverage of just a few people on stage with Michael, after intercutting with letterbox standard definition footage that can be quite distracting at times. As incredible as Michael and his music was, and as rewarding of a movie that this is to all of his fans, I honestly felt angry and upset while watching this film. Even in this incomplete form, the This Is It concert represented an epic and inspiring swan song for Michael, and knowing that all of his hard work and passion would be for naught is a depressing and upsetting thought for any true fans of his music. In a world without the king of pop though, this basic but deeply emotional documentary will have to do. Okay, so that's what I thought about This Is It. Now let's see what you had to say in the YouTube comments. Rise of the Nerd wrote, "This is it, an amazing insight on one of the most influential and talented musicians who ever lived. It was like being backstage with Michael." Sonic Mage wrote, "This Is It really showcased the talents of Michael Jackson and how integrated he was in everything about his concerts. This shows a side of Michael that almost nobody saw. 8 out of 10. Okay, now let's fire up the Rate-O-Matic and rank Michael Jackson's This Is It. A 7-9 split. As a fan of his music, This Is It was a very enjoyable and rewarding film, but I was disheartened that not more was done to honor Michael's memory, the film seemingly almost rushed to theaters after his death. I give it a cool. You folks, on the other hand, voted overwhelmingly in favor of the film, many thankful for the opportunity to get a glimpse at a Michael Jackson concert, and you guys rated it an awesome.